with us before, and a couple of you have not. So I'm Sue Barinholtz with Boomer Women Travel, and welcome to our call. Let's see, do we have the video going? Yeah, it's been going. So this is our call to talk about our Mexico trip. And so who wants to just, and I'm in northern Michigan right now. I'm in Boyne City, Michigan. And here's Bubba. He wants to say hi. He always has to be the center of attention. Goodbye. He'll be sitting right here, making sure that nobody's attacking me or anything. No, I didn't mean we're playing. Okay, so Anne, tell us where you are and what you're thinking about regarding Mexico or travel or anything.
I'm in Sun City, Arizona, and I'm not sure about Mexico only because the COVID is so bad right now. So that's why I wanted to find out what your plans were. It's who knows what's going to happen, but
yeah.
So I want to do some more traveling. I'm not really working much, and so I figure, well, now's a good time.
Right. Okay. Debbie.
Hi, I'm Debbie. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. I love to travel. I traveled with Sue in January. Was it last year?
Yeah. It seems like 100 years ago, but yes.
I know it does. Let's see. We went to Costa Rica, and I had a ton of fun. It took me about 2 weeks to recover after I got home.
You should have gotten the award for doing the most.
I know I did. I was so excited to go, and Sue coordinated a bunch of excursions, and I think I went on almost every one of them, which included parasailing, horseback riding on the beach, whitewater rafting, zip lining, all kinds of stuff, and the waterfall one. I really liked that one too.
That's the only one I got to go on because I was sick.
Yeah. So I'm tired of being in the house. So I've been doing some little day trip, or short weekend trips and stuff.
Yeah.
Arizona, but that's about it. But I'm anxious to get back out.
Yeah.
Again. So.
Okay, and Sarah.
I'm Sarah Foos. The extra F on my name is because I don't know how to handle Gmail, I guess. I'm in Mesa, Arizona now. I moved to Mesa. Yes, I've downsized for retirement. It's very exciting. I was supposed to go on a cruise in March, and it was out of San Juan, and we got to San Juan on Thursday, and the cruise was canceled on Friday.
Oh, you actually went there.
We did. So my sister, I traveled with my sister, and she was just hell-bent on, I need this vacation, and we're going to go, and I'm not going to cancel it unless they cancel it. So, if you're going to be stuck somewhere, San Juan's not a bad place. So we were only there for a few days. And then in June, I was supposed to go back east for a wedding that was canceled. So I desperately need to go somewhere. And I did go to Ireland with Sue, the most fabulous trip in the world. It was just so much fun.
I was just looking at some pictures too, and I was going to play Joe's song. We had a driver sung to us.
Our driver was he was awesome. He was I drink on the weekends. I have a cup of coffee in my Dremeland Castle coffee cup.
Oh, nice.
And pretend that I'm in a castle in Ireland somewhere. So
yeah.
So this notice for this trip came at a perfect time. This sounds like a really good way to kind of get back into the traveling world.
And I wanted Debbie and Sarah to meet because I know you're both looking for roommates.
Yep.
I've traveled with both of you before, so anyway.
I like your shades, Debbie.
What?
I like your shades.
Oh, thanks. I I have problems with my eyes.
We are going to get along great. So do I.
I'm, what was I going to say? I don't remember. Oh, Dorothy's on the line, and Dorothy has traveled with us several times. She's gone to both of the places. She's gone to
Yep.
Ireland and Scotland and Costa Rica and Italy and Alaska, even though the rest of the group didn't go. She and her girlfriend went. And so I know she's eager to travel too. And so, and then we have a few more that have signed up that just couldn't be here. So I'm just going to get started. I put together a slide presentation as I usually do. So I'm going to bring that up. And then if you would, if you have any questions, I'll tell you if, ooh, where's my screen? If somebody's noisy in the background, but so far everybody's good. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and do that. We're gonna go through this. Let's see, slideshow. Hello, slideshow from the beginning. So this is the lovely place that this is kind of like the great screenshot of the resort, which looks so cool, looking out into the ocean. But it's 5 nights, so it's a shorter trip. I thought let's go someplace that let's try to go someplace that has been letting us in for a while. I've known a few people that have gone during COVID. Nobody had any problems. Everybody said that things were safe, but I just want to say that you have to be within your own safety comfort zone. You know, either you feel like you want to travel or you don't. I didn't have an opinion for a while. I wasn't traveling for a while, and now I'm going to try it, and I think it'll be okay. But everything's changing day to day, so we just never know. But I think there's a good chance that everything will go fine, and so we'll talk a little bit more about COVID preparations and safety and all of that as we go along. So if you haven't traveled with us before, we've been taking women on trips around the world since 2012. This was our first trip to Italy, and it was just an amazing, amazing trip. We did pick grapes off the vine with the grape pickers, and we had a cooking class. There were several things that we did. It was really a magical trip, and the thing about it is that there was 9 of us, and I think I knew one other person, and the rest of them didn't know each other. And by the first night, it seemed like we were just long lost pals. The next year, and I was doing this while I was working as a consultant, and also had started Wild Boomer Women, the social club, if anybody remembers that, back in Phoenix. But we had a cruise that next year, a Mediterranean cruise where we went to England, France, Spain, and Portugal. And then we did have an after trip. Some of the folks went to Northern Ireland and had a beautiful time. Then in 2014, we went to Northern Italy and ended up in Venice. That was also just a magical, magical trip. We saw some beautiful things. And then we skipped 2015 because I started working for the Supreme Court that year and I couldn't take any vacation. But the next year we did another cruise to Spain, Gibraltar, France, and Italy. We saw the young 3 tenors in Sorrento, and we had just again another wonderful time. In 2017, we stayed in the States and took another 5-day trip to San Francisco and the wine country and all of that, Napa. And then in 2018, we went to Italy and stayed in Sorrento. We were based in Sorrento for the entire time. And that was, as Debbie was saying, in January of 2019, we went to Costa Rica. And you can see Debbie is the fourth from the left on this left-hand picture, and Dorothy's the second from the left. I'm all the way on the left. So we really, it was just magical. I'm actually looking at going back maybe in February. I've been talking to somebody that has a house there, not the same house that we went to, a nicer one. So we're thinking about doing that. And then, as Sarah said, we went to Ireland in May. And I'm trying to see, where's Sarah in there? I think Sarah,
I think I'm looking down in the picture.
You're looking down back there.
What can I say?
Yeah, yep.
That was our castle. Oh.
That was the castle. It was just magical, wasn't it? Oh,
it was. We spent the night there. It was awesome.
24 hours from noon to noon.
Yep. It was amazing.
Yeah. And then some of us went on the after trip to Scotland, Edinburgh, and this was our guide in his little, in his, what do you call that thing?
Kilt?
It was kilt, but he was decked out from head to toe, and at one of the lunches, he explained every single piece of what he was wearing, to things on his lapel, to things around his neck, to things on his sock, to, it's just very, very interesting.
So who asked him what he wore underneath that?
Yeah, I think we did, but I don't remember.
I'm sure I can probably pick out who might have asked.
Yep. And then back to Italy in when was that? October, a year ago. That was our last trip. Wasn't supposed to be our last trip, but it was our last trip, unfortunately. So the thing that I love the best is, again, this is our first trip. And as I said, these women didn't know each other the first day. And this is just after a week when the group is splitting up. Some people are going home and some people are going on to the after trip. And it's like we've been friends forever. And I plan everything. I do everything for you. I can get your pre-hotels and post-hotels if you wanted to go someplace else, extra tours if you wanted to do extra tours. I do the transportation. I pretty much do everything. As I say to people, just register, pay, pack, and enjoy. And well, sometimes you have to shop and things like that. So I don't know. Sarah or Debbie, maybe you can give an example of why you enjoy traveling with the group and why you're looking at coming back again.
So I'll start. I mean, I have always wanted to go to Ireland, but it's a little daunting. I'm single. When I travel with my sister, I love to travel with my sister, but I have to pay for her. And so the fact that like you said, I didn't have to do anything. I just picked what I wanted to do and sat back and enjoyed it. And there was not a moment that I wasn't happy I was on that trip. It was, I would love to go back again.
I would too.
Even the weather. It was Ireland and the weather was good.
The weather was good.
We had that one day where we were at, I can't even think of the name of the place.
Yeah, the
up on the hill.
Mm-hmm. The cliffs.
And it was cold and rainy. Yes.
Yeah.
And it was cold and rainy, but other than that, it was gorgeous.
Yeah. Debbie, do you have anything to add?
Well, I liked going as a group. I felt a little bit more safer, especially going to a Latin American country, just being with the group, having other people go with me with on the excursions and everything, because I think every excursion I went, there was at least 3 of us that went.
Mhm.
And so it was just nice to be able to meet new people and sit back and relax when I wasn't out and about. But it was a very nice trip. I really enjoyed it, and I still talk about it. It's one of my top favorite trips I've ever been on. So
Yeah, great, thanks.
The other thing I would say, if you haven't traveled with Sue, is she doesn't skimp on where we stay or anything. So
I try.
I mean,
not
it is a very luxurious experience.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try to do, yes. Great.
And this place looks wonderful, I gotta say.
Yeah, so let's talk about this place. I really liked it, and I'm in addition to Boomer Women Travel. Last December, I joined a host agency, which is a large travel company that independent travel advisors like me can join, so we have access to much more and can offer our clients. So I started doing individual travel. Well, I thought I was in January, and I did, but a lot of it got canceled. But so one of the things that I like is that the company that I'm with represents the leading hotels of the world, and this is one of the leading hotels of the world. It's also on Virtuoso, which is a very select group, a membership that selects very good hotels. And as you can see, it's won other awards as well. So the first thing that I noticed is what they call Punta Limpia, and I probably am just messing that up, but it's Mexico's highest stamp of quality for COVID. And they got a score of 100%, which, I mean, that's really great. And the hygiene and the sanitation. I've even read some reviews of people that have been there since COVID. And one of the things that they mention in their reviews is how clean everything was, and how you always see people, some of the employees walking around and sanitizing all the different areas. So, so in my mind, if we go to an all-inclusive resort and you're feeling like, okay, I'm going someplace, but I really don't want to go be exposed to everything, you never have to leave this place because there is so much to do. All of the rooms are facing the water. They're all oceanfront views. They all have furnished balconies. They either look like this if you're getting a single, they're all the same, or this is a double. They're 650 square feet. I mean, that's big for a room. The room and then the bathroom. There's an example of the bathroom on the left. What you don't see is the jacuzzi tub, and it's also got the walk-in shower. So it's really nice amenities, really pretty. Obviously, it's got, it's adults only, and that was something else that really was what I was looking for. I love kids, but not on my beach vacation. So it's adults only. It's a beachfront resort. It's got 3 different pools. These are, and it's on the beach. And the lower right, you can see is their, what do you call it? Negative edge pool, but it's called zero edge pool, whatever it is. It looks like it's going into the ocean. That's by design. So, so there's places to go. Everything is included. There's 4 different restaurants. There's a bar. There's a cafe. There's a espresso bar that has pastries. Or if you never want to leave your room, look at the upper right is kind of an example of breakfast served in your room. They've got a pizza bar by the outside, and they have a mini bar in your room that's refilled daily. So anything that you eat or drink, I think they do have one restaurant, a fifth restaurant that you have to pay for if you wanted to go there. I don't know why you would want to, but everything else is included. So you can eat and drink to your heart's content. And it's only 5 days, so you won't be gaining any weight. These are a couple more shots from beach that just look, I just want to be there right now.
Oh, that looks wonderful.
One of the things that I do want to emphasize, because I did read somebody's review that was disappointed, you cannot swim in the beach in the hotel. They don't allow anybody to swim on the beach that are in front of the hotel. So it's not just our hotel. It's very rough. So they could take you to other places where you could swim in the water, but you're not allowed to swim in this water. But they have like activities in the morning. You can do horseback. You can do walking on the beach and things like that. They have and this isn't just an example, but they have every week they come out with an activity schedule. And these were an example of what was on the schedule during the week. So they might have archery in the morning, and they may have, it might be different things on Tuesday. So not everything would be available the 5 days that we were there, but pretty much a lot of this is available. I like the fact that they have tequila tasting and wine tasting and mixology classes. And just different things that you can do outside. The beach is public. They want you to know that the beach is a public beach and there's no lifeguards, and swimming is forbidden. So I just wanted to say that again. That's not to say that there's millions of people hanging out on the beach, but it's not necessarily private. But there's when I saw the layout, and I don't know that I have a shot of that, but all along the beach are hotels right near each other. So then there's optional activities that I can reserve for you if you wanted to pay extra for, let's say, an all-day sailing adventure. They have camel riding, and I don't know. I saw that and I'm thinking,
why?
Oh, I don't know. You can go snorkeling or scuba diving. You can go swimming with the dolphins. There's another whole list of tours. If staying at the resort it wasn't enough, and I can send that full list to you. You can decide if you wanted to do any of those things. They of course have a spa, a huge spa, and that's extra to get service at the spa, but I can give you a list of that. And they're one of the leading spas of the world. Somebody's making a little bit of noise in the background, so maybe if you mute yourself. So the cost for the trip is $15.79 if you share a room, and $26.69 if you take it single. Unfortunately, they don't really give a whole lot of a discount. It's the same room, basically, single or double. It has one bed, two beds, but it's basically the same room. And that price includes the 5 nights in the all-inclusive. That includes when we land at the airport, we'll get picked up and taken to the hotel, and then return back to the airport when we're done. All the food that you can drink, and the alcohol and the soft drink, and those daily activities that I told you were included. It doesn't include the airfare or extra meal tours that are not, that I haven't already talked about. Tips and gratuities, what I'm going to do is before I take your final payment, I will tell you what those are going to be, and you can just give those to pay that with your final bill, so that we don't have to worry about getting it. And I take care of all those tips. I think I'll talk about travel insurance in a minute, but it doesn't include that or any kind of COVID testing that we might have to do. Most of you know or are already members of the club. If you join the club for $35 a year, you can save a minimum of $50 on a trip. You can save $100 if you bring somebody who hasn't traveled with us before, who's already on our list, and you can get another $100 off. I know Dorothy had done that last time, so she got $150 off. That was in addition to the she got off of the other 3 trips that she took during that year. And we send out our notices to people in the club before they go out to the general public. Okay, so this is an insurance company that's new to me, and the reason is because it's the only travel insurance company that I have found that will allow cancel for any reason to mean if Mexico decides not to let us in. None of the other insurance companies, a lot of insurance companies have gone under because of COVID. But the top 3 that are still with my host agency, and the only one that I've used, they have a cancel for any reason, but they also have a clause that says if the country is at war or closes its borders, it's not valid. This particular insurance company has a cancel for any reason. As you can see, it's a bit more than just the upgraded classic coverage. So you'd have to buy the cancel for any reason. This is an example of coverage of a trip that cost about $34.50. So I figured if somebody got a single and airfare and they were 64 years old, that would be the price that they would pay. So it can vary by your age, and it varies by the price of the trip. So if you're sharing a room, it's going to be the price of the trip is going to be less, so the coverage is going to be less. Also note that cancel for any reason means up to 2 days prior to departure, and you don't receive 100% refund, you only receive 75%, but that's what any of the companies do for cancel for any reason. But this is the only one, this Travel Safe Insurance is the only one that I found that will actually pay for it if Mexico decides not to let us in for some reason. And they were one of the first countries to open, and they didn't really have any restrictions on who could come, like a lot of countries, or even places like Hawaii was only letting certain states in. I think they still are. Costa Rica is opening, supposedly opening early November for some of the states. They do include Arizona and Michigan though. But you know, I mean, during this time, it's an uncertain time. I cannot guarantee that borders won't close. If you get sick, you know, I hope you don't, or somebody in your immediate family does, that's always covered for cancellation, and that's not a cancel for any reason. That would be like if you bought the classic policy for $266 and either you got sick or somebody in your immediate family got sick or got hurt, you get 100% back. So that's still okay. But does anybody have any questions about this insurance?
So what is the classic, the 266 cover?
It covers pretty much baggage delays, trip delays, injuries, illness. I can send you the whole list of things. It's pretty comprehensive. It covers the same things that the insurance company that I've been using for years that pays wonderfully covers. And this one covers the same thing, but like I said, they're the only ones that say that they will pay if the borders close. I know I'm going to be running out of town here. These are just estimates from some of the airports that people said that they were coming. So right now, and that can change at any moment, there's a nonstop from Phoenix for $425. From Tucson to go through Phoenix, it's about $563. If you're coming from my neck of the woods in Traverse City, it's $489. You have to go through Chicago, which always scares me in January. And from Detroit, it's really expensive. So I usually end up going to Detroit. It takes me about a 4-hour drive to get there, but from my 1-hour drive. To reserve your spot, I send you an electronic agreement. You sign that and then send me the $750 deposit, and you are good to go. Then we'll talk about insurance after that, and then the balance is due on November 25th. We only have 2 minutes left before I think Zoom is going to kick us off. Does anybody have any questions real quick, or we can talk about them after?
When you do the balance is going to include the insurance?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
At that time?
Actually, I think we purchased the insurance separately. So
Okay. All right.
when you give your credit card through that electronic agreement,
Yep.
I'll tell you, you also say, yes, buy my insurance, and then I tell you before I buy it. And it goes
The other thing is I have some credits with the airlines because of my canceled vacations.
Mhm.
So I'd like to use those up if possible. So if we can kind of coordinate
Yeah.
around the flights, that'd be great.
Yeah, because it's usually if you want to get your own airfare, as long as you arrive within a certain time,
Yeah.
the group arrives, then you can get the transportation with the group. Otherwise, we'll have to get you separate transportation.
Okay. Sounds good.
Anyone else? Okay, well, I hope that that you will be interested in joining us. I think we have 2 rooms left because I'm just taking a small group of 10. And if you have any questions, call me, email me, whatever, we can talk. And have a wonderful evening. And hopefully I will hear from you soon.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.